Shops like this one, 5 of them fully stacked with bags of rice, beans and millet. That's how Ado Umar and his family have kept their business running for over 12 years. But last year they had to shut down 4 and are now operating just this one. He complains business has been slow and that the demand for goods has fallen drastically.
Business is not moving like before because of price. Last year, facing that they buy 20 bags. Now this year, he back to buying 5, 6. At times, more he go buy 4 instead to buy that 6 that they buy big. But before, he is buying 20.
A huge lot of the rice here is imported. Nigeria consumes about 300 million tons of imported rice, but import volumes are now on a downward spiral. For more than a year, the country's economy has been battered by the effects of falling crude oil prices. Its currency is on a free fall against the US dollar, and the economy slipping into a recession. This translates into a rising cost of imports and less disposable income in the economy. In the past decade, Africa recorded one of the world's fastest economic growth figures. Propelled by crude oil exports, Nigeria enjoyed a robust growth rate of 7% until recently, when crude oil prices came tumbling down. Its GDP is now projected to grow at 4%, and that too could slide even further. Nigeria is Africa's biggest crude oil exporter. Oil accounts for about 90% of the country's exports and 70% of its earnings. A slump in crude oil price has denied it nearly 80% of revenue, and the country's forex has now shrunk to $27 billion.
We've lost close to about 80% of our government budget that used to come from crude oil, from an all-time high of about $100 per barrel to less than 30. We've also lost a good part of what consists about 90% of our foreign exchange earnings.
The Nigerian leader has taken a tough stance on corruption and is emphasizing effective use of government resources. But key in his reform agenda are efforts to diversify the economy, and that means revitalizing the country's agricultural sector and exploring the potential in minerals. Some economists here think diversifying the economy should emphasize primary production alongside industrialization.
You can imagine where you are not importing fruit juices and all those mangoes, oranges that you see around Benue State that are wasted are now being, harnessed and packaged locally. People are going to do that, so they'll be put in jobs. If the local assembly and manufacturing car plants begin to produce more, they will employ more Nigerians.
Meanwhile, President Buhari seems to be pursuing a raft of measures, including rallying OPEC countries to cut crude oil production to stabilize prices. But what's clear is that there are no quick fixes, and Nigeria might have to wait a little longer. Kelechi, Emekalam, CCTV Abuja, Nigeria.